grid up on the screen then for MiniGP 190/70. Peter Hickman will start on pole position alongside Sullivan Mounty aboard the number 44. James Mosticker and Tom Lewis share row 2. Philip Swariak and Daniel Goodman on row 3. Callum Ricketts and Kobe Perry will share row 4. Tim Patterson and Simon Bogg will complete the top 10. Ted Wilkinson and Jack Knight on row 6. Row 7, Dominic Avola, he's alongside Tom McKenzie, who starts in 14th there in front of Paddy Moore and Dougie Craven. On row 8, Zach Weston and Jack Bredenack will start 17th and 18th respectively. Dervan Allenay and then the owner of Transponder Zero will start in front of the 23 of Reece Stevenson. A number of those drivers showing up as do not start from yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see whether they make an appearance here at Ellough Park. Just been informed actually that we're going to go straight through. There'll be no lunch break, which also means no toilet break for the commentator, which means quite possibly bad times for the producer next to me, who's currently handed me a bottle with, which I'll be honest, Darren, is a very small hole at the top, which I don't thank you for at all. Professionalism here in the commentary box has just fallen straight off a cliff. Hopefully they will be able to bring it back for you just in time for the next race of the day. MiniGP 190 is out on circuit. As we mentioned, 2 classes in one race. It'll be the seniors and the juniors, amalgamated juniors in their own subclass and championship. Not entirely sure I'll be able to make out the difference between the two of them. The bike exactly the same, just a sub-championship for our different runners. On pole position then, on the outside, the all-black bike, glistening in the summer sunshine, is the number 60 of Peter Hickman. Marshall is just waiting for the final few riders to sort themselves out at the back of the pack. Looks like we've got 1 or 2 maybe out of position. Circuit though is being cleared of helpers. Expect the Marshall in a few moments' time. There he goes, points up to the red lights. The red lights are on, the red lights are out. We're away and racing in the MiniGP 190. It's a good start from Hickman. From the outside, will he try and run all the way around the outside? He does. Doesn't chop across the bows. Gives the rider on the inside enough space, but moves through into the lead from pole position all the way around the outside of the Degner 1 hairpin. Down then into the heavy braking zone of Holmes. The 2 leaders at the front with their black bike, Hickman and Stevenson, are trying to move away, although the rest of the pack sticking with them. A mix then in this class. You can run both a 4-stroke and a 2-stroke bike. The 2 strokes running though to a maximum engine cc of 70. The 4 strokes allowed just under 188cc. So a mix of bikes, all of them to the extent of looking fairly similar as they come through for the opening lap here at Ellough Park in this 10-lap race. The fastest lap times then we've seen all day then so far from the MiniGP 160s. Hickman, Stevenson, Barnes sets the fastest opening lap, although very evenly matched between Mounsey, the leading junior, Foster and Goodman then the next 3, 4th down in 4th, 5th and 6th, all junior runners in front of Samuel Munson, James Mosticker, Clayton Edmund and Tom Lewis. Then we've got Hungerford, Collins and Raya completing the top 10 in the senior class. They count them through the next championship. There's at least 6 carts battling out for the lead. There they are in the middle. Mounsey, the leader in the juniors. You can see there the rider looking noticeably smaller than the 3 bikes in front of him. That's because he's aged between 12 and 15 years old. We've got a rider down, I believe, on the outside of O'Rossi. That's one of the O'Valley UK bikes in the black and bright yellow livery. Green flag though is out now. That bike running back on circuit. Let's see if we can catch which one it is. There will come through on the timing screen below everybody else of the 25 runners. And we'll get confirmation in a few moments which one of that is. The timing screen down the left hand side only going to 20. We've got 25 runners. It was Dominic Avola, the rider that was down. His bike though back up and running again. He'd come off on the outside of O'Rossi. We've got a rider down as well on the outside of Shoemakers, so we'll see who that one is at the moment. Certainly one about, and he's walking over to the bike. Doesn't seem in much of a rush either to get it back upright, so it looks like we're certainly going to have one retiree early on in this 10-lap race. Certainly he's rolling that bike well out of harm's way. hopefully the yellow flag will be in and will allow some overtaking opportunities down into Shoemakers in due course. At the front though, Lee Stevenson and Ashley Barnes have managed to find a way past Peter Hickman, so a change for the lead on the previous lap, and a fantastic fastest lap from Ash Barnes, 49.02 on the previous lap, only a fraction away of dipping into the 48s. Having a quick look, trying to get confirmation of who that rider is that is down. Certainly he's just going to sat on his bike, gives the marshal and the helpers a big thumbs up, so he's fine. The bike, however, probably not, as he sets it stationary on the infield section of the circuit. Stevenson, Barnes, Hickman then continue to lead the seniors. Mounsey, Foster and Goodman in 4th, 5th and 6th respectively, leading the juniors as the rest of the bikes making their way through. 4 laps in then to this 10-lap race in MiniGP, the OMG Racing MiniGP 160 class here at the Rich Energy British Minibike Championships. And Hickman makes a late dive to the inside, stands the bike up mid-corner as well, forces Ash Barnes wide, who's going to keep the accelerator in around the O'Rossi. Hickman has to settle back into 3rd place. He went down the inside, block pass, sat the bike up mid-corner and tried to force Barnes out wide. Barnes though keeps the throttle down, reds out. Problems on circuit, we've got a rider down on circuit, where's, not sure whether it looks like it could be on the outside of the Degnut 1 hairpin. So red flags out, riders are going to make their way back round for a second bite of the cherry. Of this MiniGP 190 class, as I mentioned, it's going to be a sprint to the checkered flag. Everybody into position then. Juniors helpers are moving their way off. Marshall expects to point up to the red lights. He does. The red lights are on. I can tell you they're off as soon as they're on again, and we are away and racing in Mini 190. The blast down then into the first corner. Hickman once again decides to go all the way around the outside, stays out of any trouble. Stevenson and Barnes leading the way then. Hickman got such a good start off the line. I think looks like we might have even had one of them miss it as they go. It looks like everybody's through though in the opening couple of laps. Let's see if we can catch who the front runner is as they come down through the complex of corners. Does not look like it's going to be Rhys Stevenson. The timing tower sees him down in 21st place. However, he's certainly not down in 21st place. He is out at the head of the pack, I believe, as there's a move back down the inside into that corner. Hickman, who had moved up into 2nd place, is now going to drop down into 3rd. Let's get confirmation as they come over this time as to where our riders are. Barnes, I think, will be confirmed at the top, although let's have a quick look. That is the 46 of Barnes. He is, however, 5 or 6 bike lengths behind another one, and that is Rhys Stevenson, who is shown on timing down in 22nd place. He is, in fact, in the lead of this race. It's just that I think at the start we're seeing a lot of the time at the moment where pole position is not getting picked up straight away over the line. Last lap is out already. It was in fact a 3-lap sprint to the end. We stopped with 4 to go, but then as soon as they crossed the line at the restart of this race, it was down to 3. So it's going to be Stevenson at the top. Barnes, Hickman, Mounsey, Foster, Munson, Mostica, Lewis, Perry and Edwards will be the top 10. Goodman has dropped behind Kobe Perry in the battle for 3rd place in the junior class. Last lap was shown on screen. The board now is actually out for our front runners. So there was actually an additional lap added on, albeit not on the timing. So we are being treated to an additional lap here then of MiniGP 190 for their 2nd race of the weekend. Out at the front, Stevenson is still coming under some pressure from, looks like, from Ash Barnes. Stevenson not shown on timing. He's certainly there front, but both Barnes and Hickman have reeled him in on this final tour of the Ellough circuit. Down into the heavy braking zone they've gone. This is the battle for the lead then. Stevenson is now back in front. Barnes returns the favour down the inside. They're side by side out of the final complex of corners. Who's going to get the run to the line? It's going to be the 46, is it? Ash Barnes wins MiniGP 90 from Reece Stevenson. Hickman gets third. Foster will take fourth place overall and snatches the win from Sullivan Mounsey in the juniors. Samuel Munson gets sixth overall, fourth in the seniors. Kobe Perry completes the top three in the junior class, with James Mosticker, Tom Lewis and Clayton Edwards completing the top 10 overall in that race. Split obviously by the red flag in the middle of it, and then a 4-lap sprint to the checkered flag. It went all the way down to the final corner with Ashley Barnes and Reece Stevenson